Oh,
Thank you, Teddy.
what's up, people? We're back. We're here again. Episode 534 of Horror Research 30. And I just realized this is the third episode of the year. I'm over here telling myself earlier today, I'm like, holy shit. I'm like, this is already the second episode of the year? I'm like, nope. Three. And we are going to be discussing The Dead Don't Die. I have some.
Hopefully, briefly.
We'll see.
A lot of stars in this, though.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
This is a great movie to open yourself up to a truly fantastic director that this does not really represent.
Agreed.
Speaking of fantastic directors, rest in peace to
Yes. David Lynch.
and Bob Uecker. You know,
Yes.
give the man his credit too.
Yes.
Rest in peace to both.
I didn't
of
hear
those
about
gentlemen.
Bob, actually.
He passed away too. Just a bit outside. I watched Major League with my son tonight, his first watch. So
Very
Oh,
cool.
nice.
in honor of the man. I'm not watching any Lynch with him.
You're like, no, I'm good.
That's
I
fine.
love Lynch. Lynch
Oh, I
is
adore. Mhm.
to me, Wes. You get the quirky tiers. All right, you get Wes
Mhm.
Anderson, who is quirky with substance.
Mhm.
And you get David Lynch, who is quirky, who teeters on the line of no substance at all. Like most of his themes are shower thoughts.
Mhm.
And then you have Jarmusch, who is like very pretty but no substance at
I
all.
wouldn't say no substance. I mean, yeah, but
I did like that Tom Waits was in this movie.
yes.
That
Tom
would-
Waits is in his early movies.
Wait, are we
So-
live?
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
shit!
yeah.
I stopped your intro. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. You're good. I'm done with the intro. We're already talking about the intro. But no, with the whole David Lynch thing, I will show you guys something which I did share with you, Mick. That my brother drew up. He was a David Lynch fan. My brother John, who has been on this show before, who is he has some very awesome art. But he did this,
Oh, beautiful.
That is awesome.
and then this.
Oh, nice.
I like that.
But
That is
actually,
great.
Trevor, I got to show you my brother's art because he
Uh-huh.
is very unique with his art. You can ask Mick this. Very unique, very different, very strange and weird, and I freaking love it.
No,
Like he's
very not cool.
He,
I'm curious to learn more.
very
He,
sci-fi based.
Mhm.
he used to work for Disney years ago. I don't remember like what he's worked on. His wife worked on like a couple of Disney and Pixar. I believe she still works for Pixar with like lighting and stuff.
Mm.
But like he made that character right there in the circle, the Sir Sturdy. He made me like the. Hang on, actually, let me show you guys.
This podcast is brought to you by The Letter Quiet.
No, it's brought to you by
Listen.
Sturdy's
Oh,
Saxatorium.
that's
You guys
cool.
are all professionals, so I know you would just pick it up for me with jokes or whatever. But
Oh,
this right
wow.
here, so
That is
That
awesome.
is awesome.
he made it. The cool thing about it right, is he made this right.
Mhm.
Looks like it has nipple
Before-
rings.
Before we ever met in person, we met in
Mhm.
person last year or the year before last. Anyway, he hit me up and he was like, "Hey," he was like, "Would it be cool if I sent you this?" I was like, "Hell yeah, hell yeah!" And from that, like after he sent me that and gave that to me, I was like, "Okay, now would it be cool if I use this as my logo for my podcast? He's, do whatever you want with it." So I was like, "Cool," and so that's like my mascot /
That's really
logo
cool.
for Horror with Sir Sturdy.
Mhm.
And it's a one of one. So if you ever any motherfuckers try to steal it,
I hope your brother sells the original sculpture or the artwork. Like for,
this is the original sculpture right here.
fuck. I want him to
See
sell
this?
it for you.
You-
Sell it on you.
Mhm.
So that way you're using it. Some rich person's like, you can't have it. Get it out of there. I saw it on your show, so I purchased it.
Yeah, you have to buy it from me, but guess what? It's not for sale.
I love it. I'm just kidding. I always thought that was awesome.
Oh, I know. And did you announce the whole thingamabob yet, Mick?
Yeah, Casters for a Cause.
Yes,
Still getting it
yes.
together. It's going to be on. Oh my
Oh,
god.
cool.
February 1st.
No, February 1st. Did you
Yeah,
say
yeah, we got
February?
a
I
couple
said
more
February
weeks, right?
1st. I just said February 1st. No, February 1st. You have to hear from the white man.
I thought you said January 1st. I'm sorry.
January 1st already passed.
Sorry,
I think I just want to go back in time.
It was a great show.
It was. January 1st was a good time. We had a good time on here January 1st for the first zombie movie we kicked that off with. But
Well-
no, we are doing Casters for a Cause. It's going to be a marathon. It's going to be some fun thing. We're starting at 3 p.m. Eastern time and going till 1 a.m. Eastern time. And it's going to be a long, fun
Oh,
show.
cool.
But you guys should kick in. And if you can afford to help with the charity, please help donate to big shout out to LA or you know. And that's the only time I'm going to do it for LA because fuck the Rams. I want them to lose Sunday. But seriously though, with the LA fires, if you can help, you should help. And don't call out celebrities that are donating money, especially if you haven't donated a fucking dollar. Because I'm tired of. I hate when people do that shit. Why don't they donate more? I think it's selfish of people doing that. They donated their money. It doesn't matter how much they donate. They actually did something. Those that are saying, why aren't they donating more?
Majority of the
Why aren't
time,
they
it's like
donating?
hundreds of thousands or $1 million. Like, can you donate $1 million?
No, can you donate
That's
$1? Can you donate $5? Like, I hate when people do that shit. The government should be the ones doing a hell of a fucking lot more, but us as people need to come together and help others when they're down. And right now, California needs our help. LA needs our help. And if you can help, and make sure you guys tune in, get some laughs, and help donate. February 1st. It's going to be a great time.
Yep.
For a great cause.
Well, I mean, just real quick, kind
yeah.
of tie that together. So one director that is been notoriously connected to Los Angeles was David Lynch. And he was in Los Angeles when he passed away. I do know that from what I've been able to pick up. But this could be maybe a controversial statement, but I feel that Lynch can almost be put beside Louis Buñuel as far as, you know, putting surrealism out there and having it accepted in a way that, you know, was groundbreaking. Now, very different artist, but I feel that's where that term Lynchian comes in. And Lynchian is it's like an amoeba. It could be anything but a feel. And I think that's what's really special and what's, you know, I think we're really going to miss about David Lynch. Like Louis Buñuel, his world was out there and surreal, but it definitely had at times more of a magical realism that was centered in humanity. So there, I just had to say that about the late David Lynch.
Oh, no. Go ahead. If you have anything you want to say about him too, Mick, because I know you guys know a lot more about him than I do. And speaking for James, kind of, probably maybe more than James does too. If you have anything you want to say, please do.
The man was
Especially with
brilliant.
you working in the. Actually, I also want to hear from you as far as like your ties to if you were in LA. I don't know California at all, but when you worked out there, and how it's affecting you. You know what I mean? Just with that, of course, with the sadness of it, but of course, I'm sure you have personal ties to it as well.
Well, I mean, yeah, it was an adopted city for a while, and I always appreciated it because that was always a goal to live in that city for me, and be a part of the film industry and the culture. So, and a lot of people think that LA doesn't have culture, and it's very, 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 very far from the truth. It is so many cultural backgrounds all coming together that has formed this thing. It truly is sort of a melting pot of culture. I mean, you can go to different parts and feel different ways, and it's just truly a beautiful, beautiful city. I love it. It's my second favorite city in the world. Of course, McManhattan would have another one in mind for number one, but
New Jersey, we know. Well, the state. Brick City.
I love where I'm from. I'm not from Brick City.
Yeah,
City,
Jersey City.
Jersey City. Oh, thank you, sir. You got to know your trivia, so get your guests in line. No, so yeah, I don't want to draw on or anything like that. I loved it. You know, getting an In-N-Out burger with my buddy, late nights, or I don't think it's around anymore, but Lucky's Tavern had the best burgers ever. loved going down to Venice and just that whole like sort of other alternative culture that there was always such a beautiful place to be around. And I shot things there and shooting videos,
film, not gang.
We shot, I shot an unaired pilot. We went down there. I did a lot of photography down there and stuff like that. So the whole city, like I used to every Sunday morning, now you got me going, you dick. Because let me tell you something about LA if you live there. On normal days, Sunday mornings, if you want to go anywhere from like 6 a.m. until, I would say maybe 11 or 12, you can go anywhere, no problem, no traffic. You can get there. You can dart there real fast. You can walk around. You can get anything you need. Park anywhere you want to park. And it's no problem because nobody's on the road. Nobody was around. And that was when I'd go out, I'd get my bagel, and I'd go sightseeing wherever I wanted to go. Like I visited, and if you know, what are her names? Laurel and Hardy, The Music Box, I think is a brilliant comedy short film if you haven't seen it. And there's a staircase, and it's an immense long staircase, and I got to go visit it, and stuff like that, and just kind of see what it looks like now. I go and see the Back to the Future houses and stuff like that. I'm going on and on, but I do. That's because the more that it comes on, the more I think about it. I did love my time in LA. I remember when I was writing a horror movie for my boss, I would just, for inspiration, go walk down Orange Grove, and that's where you had the Halloween house and you had the Nightmare on Elm Street house, and like they're same block and stuff like that. Just walk around and feel like the vibe of horror, that was horror greatness on that. Going to Griffin Observatory and walking those hills and stuff like that. Those just amazing places that I love that city, and I so sad to see it hurting right now.
Well, you mentioned that one thing that I've thought about outside of the obvious right now is saving lives, is that we're losing a lot of very prized real estate that has been used in films and became landmarks almost. And one thing I don't want to think about is the number of original 35 millimeter prints and movies that were being backed up to eventually be digital but have never gotten that far, that this wildfire will just take out with random stock houses full of cinema that they haven't gotten around to figuring out what it is yet. So this fire is just not harming human beings and things of that nature, which is really the focus right now. But in the long run, this fire is taking out a potentiality of a lot of our entertainment history. And that's very, very sad.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. Like a lot of culture and all that is just going to be, just from the film and all the stuff we're just talking about, is going to be just gone. Yep. And yes, we care about the people first and foremost. That's the most important. But just it's like after that, there's other things that you're just like, holy shit.
This is a big enough disaster that it has a ripple effect for a long time.
Yes.
Not in many things. This is just one of the items.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. So, again, we're going to try our best to help do what we can do.
Yeah.
And entertain you guys and raise as much funds as we can to help LA out there. But now, onto this movie, The Dead Don't Die. It
was an interesting take on the zombie movie.
It was interesting. It wasn't zombie enough for me. I feel like everything just started. It didn't happen. It happened too late in the movie. And I feel like it happened too late in the movie to where it can like really pick up and make it like more entertaining with the zombies. I wish we got to see more kills. A lot of the stuff was like off screen or just like off screen or off scene even. Like you're gonna do a cool kill and then just change the whole fucking scene. Like what the fuck? Why? I don't mind the comedy. I love a horror comedy.
And they're doing the fourth wall shit.
I don't even mind that too. I would have enjoyed it more with more violence in it. Honestly, more of like a horror.
Well, the fourth wall thing, like I thought it was gonna be the jokes weren't funny enough. Like when they do the fourth wall.
They were supposed to be so obviously.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. stoically fourth wall. It's like, you know, okay, so I actually saw this movie twice when it was in theaters. And my first take on the movie was total fucking hate this. It was the biggest, like, Jim Jarmusch does a zombie film. It just sounded amazing. So my first take on this film was very negative, and I had to watch it within the same week. Again, not of my choice, but it was whatever. I've come across it off and on television, but this time watching it, I think it actually held up a lot better than it was when it happened. You know, when it came out in 2019, I'll be the first to say that this is Jim Jarmusch's worst film. But, you know, it's made competently by trying to not be competent. So, yeah.
My grandmother said that if you don't have anything nice to say, you shouldn't say anything at all.
Well, as a podcaster, your grandmother's wrong. No disrespect.
You mentioned before about how Jarmusch, you know, finding meaning in Jarmusch, whatever. I've seen interviews with him in which he talks about, you know, how most of his films are shot, and they're not shot in sequence. And he goes by a theory that every shot that involves actors is like an individual movie. Like you act for the scene as opposed to for the whole. And that is kind of his signature style, which does lead to kind of a disjointedness, sometimes a slowness, sometimes, you know, it just does it. It can play negatively with the viewer because there's not really a consistent flow. But what was kind of, you know, angering me when I saw the movie, besides the fact that, you know, Jim Jarmusch does zombies with, you know, Bill Murray, Adam Driver, and the RZA. I mean, this is going to be great. This is a director who has visited and recreated genre films. Dead Man, 2 and 1, Ghost Dog, the gangster film, the samurai film, Only Lovers Left Alive. All three of those films, I give an easy 7.58. So, I mean, he has done this kind of thing before. Also, I've heard him in interviews say that it was a 7-week shoot. He basically just reached out to people who were available and wanted to come together, and it was kind of thrown together like coffee and cigarettes, which is my second least favorite of his movies. But that's, you know, try to give a little bit of insight on where he would go.
My thing is, it fooled you a little bit. Like when they introduced Selena Gomez and they're like making her furry, like she's like the good girl, and the two guys are like, eh. I thought they were gonna die and she was gonna survive and meet up with that hardware store kid.
Oh yeah.
But it went like you said, there's like no sequence. It was like, oh, they're there. They didn't even show them die. The guy just goes back. The zombies walking and they get the whatever they did last or whatever. I forgot what they're obsessed with. He was like, he was just saying, was it Cleveland or something like that? Then it went to a different scene with Bill Murray and shit. They came back and they're dead in the bed. I'm like, what the fuck happened? You pay Selena Gomez for one scene?
Hey, listen.
I was like, God,
there are a lot of people in this movie. Some things they just couldn't afford.
There is a lot of people in this movie.
That's the the downside of it too, though, because it's like, if that's what it really was budget with some of the kills and all that, I don't know what the hell they just were. I don't know, man. This is a disappointment.
Iggy Pop was the first one of the male first zombie. The one coffee.
Speaking of violence,
make a shake his head. Something's brewing. He's about to erupt.
Speaking of violence,
Jim Jarmusch is that? No, you're right. Sorry, go.
I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
Now
You're
I've
good.
lost my train of thought.
Not you. It's not you.
You were talking about violence.
No, it's no. I'm not talking about violence.
Well, James is talking about violence.
No, James.
Oh, I'm sorry. You go. What were you talking about?
Okay.
Violence?
Well, we can talk about it later, but I was just curious what everybody felt about the zombies being killed and it being dust.
Yeah, that was weird too.
That threw me
That was
off,
kind of weird.
Just-
Threw me off.
It was like kind of like their demon possession. You chop their head off and all the spirit comes out.
Jim Jarmusch is there are different types of filmmakers that enter film school or get into filmmaking and stuff like that in the beginning. And there's talented ones and then there's not. And Jim Jarmusch is not. Jim Jarmusch has a lot of friends. He makes movies. He was punk rock because he did all this quirky shit. And all it is, is, it'd be cool. That's how it starts. It'd be cool.
Mm-hmm.
And the next thing's, it'd be cool. And the next thing's, it'd be cool. And then they write it down and they just keep going, it'd be cool. And then we do this and, and then you get this movie. And so many like it. And they drive me crazy because there's no substance. And then we do, like, I see him compared to like Lynch, who is brilliance, is true filmmaking brilliance.
Mm-hmm.
And he doesn't even kiss his boots. Like, that's just, it's not, I'm sorry. Jarmusch just sucks, man.
Yet again, Mick, you and I don't see eye to eye. This doesn't happen very often.
I'll talk to Lynch all day long, and that man borderline the substance. Like I said, where Jarmusch is, be cool, be cool, be cool. Lynch was at least like in his shower, and he's like, thought, existential thought.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna make a movie out of this, and then it's like weird shit, but at least there's some substance of like something. There's a nugget there. Whereas like Wes Anderson's like too much substance. It's like dial it back a little bit. That is my gauge of the borderline. They're more abstract than absurd filmmakers, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
And he's low level. I can't take Jarmusch. And I really, and I have another reason for hating this movie too. And a more personal one. I remember because I love Bill Murray. I wanted to see this movie. I was like, great lineup. Maybe he's due for one. And I asked my wife, I was like, let's make a date night of it. And she was gonna go, and it was like, we're gonna go see this movie. It's like, it's a zombie movie, but it's not really gonna be like a crazy all-out zombie movie. Like, it's gonna be fun. Yeah, and I really thought that. I really thought this movie was gonna be fun. So we stop off at my mother-in-law's, drop off the kid. They're watching the kids that night, and my mother was like, what are you going to see? I was like, we're going to see Did That Don't Die, with the new Bill Murray movie, and blah blah blah. And my mother-in-law looks at both of them and says, why do you always have to see the things you want to see? And I was like, and my wife and I got into, like, we bickered and we didn't go see the movie.
Damn.
And I got annoyed. No, it was fine. Like, we made up and stuff. No, but I was like, I'm like, what's going on, Chad, man? I really wanted to see that movie. So I waited till it came out. I was so let down by it. You know how I feel about this movie? You remember The Menu, which is one of the greatest fucking movies ever made. The Menu, when he invites John Leguizamo, the actor, just like he tells the tale of like he went to see a movie and he just like despised it. That's this movie for me. That's just like, I would invite Jim Jarmusch to my island restaurant if that was metaphorically.
Be careful with those words, Mick. Don't mention.
No. Don't go.
Even films like Mystery Train and Night on Earth.
I don't know if I've ever seen those.
I mean, that's early Jim career, but I can't say.
This might be the first movie I've seen of him.
Probably for me.
This is the worst introduction, in my opinion, known to mankind.
I didn't mind the one about the Stooges.
Mm-hmm.
Which one was that? I don't know. He did something about the Stooges, didn't he? Maybe I'm thinking of the wrong.
I don't believe
like,
so.
"Oh,
No.
He's like, nope, wrong director. I still hate him.
All right, well then it's not him. Screw him.
But there's
Whoever did the
Only
Stooges
Lovers
movie
Left
did a good job.
Alive is one of the most existentially romantic films ever made. I mean, I'm gonna fight for Jim because I don't think he's a talentless hack. I mean, that would be kind of like, saying, early Lars von Trier is kind of like a talentless hack, which one could throw at my face and say that also. But, I was
One
raised
director
on
at
these
a
art
time.
films. That's, that was, I didn't get into horror until I was about 16. So,
I say we bail on this and talk about Lynch.
I don't know enough about Lynch.
I can tell one funny story about this movie, and it involves Bill Murray. So Bill Murray, in the middle of a scene that did not involve him, he decides to get Chloe and Adam Driver together, and they take the police car, and he decides to go joyriding throughout the town, stopping, talking to people, and basically he doesn't notice the fact that there is virtually no gas, and that becomes a huge monster, which in itself, the scenes with Adam Driver had to be shot in 3 weeks, because that's when he was going to do Star Wars. So, a 7-week shoot, and a majority of your stuff has to be, smacked into 3 weeks.
Damn.
Yeah. So, I mean, it was not the best situation, and really, I mean, it's not a good movie. I'm not going to, sit here and say, this is a masterwork. Good God.
I'll give you Ghost Dog.
Ghost Dog is fucking awesome.
I'll give you I didn't mind Broken Flowers either.
I've never seen it,
Mm-hmm.
but it's something I would
Broken Flowers
watch
is
just
pretty
by the
cool.
title.
Ghost Dog.
Probably has
He really does bail on a lot
nothing.
of things.
Is it horror? It's probably nothing to do with horror, huh?
No,
No.
Ghost Dog is.
No. Ghost Dog is Forrest Whitaker, whole score by the RZA. Good stuff.
And Only Lovers Left Alive is this wonderful Twilight-esque romp for women in their late 40s to early 50s.
Seriously? I'm sorry.
It's what's that movie from The Hunger? It's basically it's The Hunger again, and it's just, listen, I love Bowie. I love The Hunger.
I don't. Yeah.
And only Lovers Left. I just I don't know, missed for me. Ghost Dog though. I agree. Ghost Dog.
I don't think I've seen any of those movies.
I haven't heard of them.
Watch. I mean,
Down by Law, films like that. I mean, I was, exposed, when they came out, because, I'm lucky enough to have a parent that was video store obsessed. And I think those movies are really, really amazing. And there is a certain time there in which Jarmusch changes from this like weird, sarcastic, stoic style of filmmaking to start doing things like Dead Man and stuff like that. But that's just one of the things that Mick and I don't see eye to eye, and that's Jim Jarmusch.
I mean, I still say check everything out.
Yeah.
Don't everything we're saying, watch it for yourself.
It's everybody's personal opinion.
Just like I never, when at film school, it wasn't like I was like, you shouldn't be here. No, you can be that, it'd be cool guy. Go be. I don't want to do that. You hire me, I'll do it. That's a different tale. And I don't have to like it to work on it. I'll just do my best. I'll try and make your film better. Any way I can in my little position.
But, let's jump into ratings really quick. James, what do you got for us? Keyboard.
It was just okay for me. I'm going to give it a 5.
Okay. Hang on. A 5, you say? How about you, Trevor?
Yeah.
A 5.5.
5.5.
I'll actually go along with the IMDb rating.
That's fair. What about you, Mick?
I will give this movie, because of Tilda Swinton scenes are funny, and there's a couple other chuckle moments. And that's really the only thing I'm going to say about this movie, that it was good. So I'll give it a 2.
Oh wow.
Mm-hmm.
I'm giving it a 3. Again, I love horror comedies, but I wish there was more horror with this.
Well,
I wish there was better.
Well,
comedy.
that too, but I prefer more of a horror thing with, like, if you kept this same comedy in it, but more of the horror element with it, it would have been better.
Well,
because I didn't think that was funny when they're in the diner people died and they come in. It's like, was it wild animal or several? And they did it 3 times. Every person that came up to him. I was like, that's not funny.
Well,
like,
Mick does have a very, very, good point when it comes to Jarmusch, but especially this movie. And that is, it is not the best way to start a film when everybody goes, ooh, this is a cool idea. To the point that your desire to make a film more based on themes is relevant to anything in the film. So yes, so the relevant themes, of course, go back to, the beginning of the 68, capitalism as zombies. Very in your face anti-fracking film, and very much a film about, what mankind can do. Now, I brought up The Dust simply because since I saw that movie, I was like, what's with this? It just makes no sense to me. And it actually hit me watching it this time. And this could be out there and I've never heard it, but I think it was actually a choice if you follow the concept that the earth is moved from its axis via fracking, which is supposed to be the start of the movie. Fracking creates this stuff called cilia dust, and cilia dust is one of the oldest known medically known carcinogens, and it spews it out in massive amounts. So, yet again, if you make a movie that's too much about message without content, it becomes overblown, a little too in your face, and everything seems so amazingly unbalanced. But I do think that they had good intentions when they made the film. It just didn't come out that way.
All right. After hearing that, my rating's a 1.
This guy. A 1? Oh,
Yep.
So stupid. It's such a stupid movie.
I love that I got you to go down a rating.
That is a stupid concept, though. The earth tilt and make zombies. What? Oh, it's supposed to make earthquakes, like they said in the movie. They're supposed to be about eruptions.
Well, all that stuff shown on television.
Tidal waves.
Because that's all people need to know.
Oh my god! This
in the scene in the juvie, all the stuff that you would need to know about what's going on in the world is shown in a sequence, and that's that's all every people need to know. What television tells them. So
at this point,
yet again, I'm gonna try to slip one in for Jim. So maybe that didn't sound right.
It didn't, but it was fun.
Jim definitely slipped one in.
It's not jar moist. So
my name is Jim, and I'm taking that Jim out.
My name is.
I'm dropping down to
my
a
name
4.
is Jimmy Durax.
I love it that I.
Oh shit!
Oh, we're watching
what we
next.
got next.
Whose choice is next?
Yours or Trevor's?
Go with Trevor's. It's better. I'd rather do that one.
It's probably gonna be insane.
It is. It's a
Both
good
are
one.
fun with great films.
Undead or White Zombie? What's it gonna be?
Come on.
White
I
Zombie
walked with
sounds like a
zombie.
porn name.
White Zombie's another one.
Thank you for popping your ad in.
Undead.
Awesome.
Nice. Be a first.
You should still watch I Walk with the Dead.
No, that'll be the week after.
Oh, that's right. There are 2 more weeks in January.
Yep.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
We need to work.
We put enough movies.
We got to get in the lab, man. We got to start working. We got to get this thing off the ground. You're my eyes and ears. I need everybody to spread the word. But I got to pick a charity, so I'll do that tomorrow.
Oh, awesome.
Yes. And let me know because I got a Sterno Vision tomorrow, so I can drop the. If you have everything, we'll talk after the show.
When we're in the lab, we can do it. Are you in the lab tomorrow?
Cool.
I can be. Yeah.
Were you in the lab today?
I can be.
Yeah, I was working from home today.
Oh shit! I don't know what I was doing.
I should swing by the lab stuffs more. I don't.
Hell yeah!
I'm joining.
Hell yeah!
What is that wheel thing on the side there? Is that a lobster holding a wheel?
No, it's one of those like skeleton hands, like that, and I just put the wheel right under it.
It's got a Venom meets like caviar look.
Oh man, this movie! I wish this movie was fucking better. Like the past
As a
2
Jarmusch
movies.
fan, I agree with you.
The past 2 movies I enjoyed. I know Trevor didn't care for the last one, and then we got this. But I'm hoping these next 2 are more. I'm hoping they're more entertaining for us. I'm hoping they're a good time. And
This got thrown in my face because last week I said that a zombie movie is a zombie movie. Like you sit back and they're just fun. But this one, I'm like, oh, that's just fucking. They slapped me in the face to prove me wrong.
See, you had to keep saying it.
Well, that's
And then, which next month?
I mean, it wasn't horrible. It's just not what I thought it was going to be.
Next month they're doing film.
I thought it was going to be like you said, more zombie and stuff.
I thought that too. With the comedy in it, but it wasn't. And then
yeah, you're thinking the zombie comedy.
Then they brought. Wait a minute, real quick before we forget. What the fuck? They added aliens into it.
Just one.
Because it's Jarmusch. You know, it'd be cool.
Yeah,
you know,
it'd be cool. The weird chick with the swords. She's an alien. We're gonna come and save her.
That was
cool.
like
There's a coroner, and she's a ninja, and that's what happens in this small town.
You know, she's used.
It was a ripoff of Kill Bill.
Oh, there was a lot of Okay, so the weird thing about this movie that also, so you had that whole element of like trying to make social commentary, but there's also this element of, and this is kind of the reason why I don't like Coffee and Cigarettes, which is another kind of episodic, let's get 2 people together and they're just going to ramble about shit movie. But this one is that, and then you bring everybody's fucking geekdom in, which usually works, but it is so all over the place and disjointed, where another director, there would be kind of a flow. I mean, okay, Woo PS, RZA, great joke. And that's kind of the only thing this film has to offer. Great jokes that are played too many times. Nobody's brought up the Soldril Singdril, I can't say his name. Soldril Singdril song, The Dead Don't Die, which we hear endlessly, which was written to be a bad song. It's just, it's not satisfying.
Everything you're talking about, I know in your head you're saying to yourself, oh, he definitely said, it'd be cool. I know everything.
The problem with him is he doesn't say, would that be cool? He says, this would be cool. Then he asks everybody else what would be cool. And then they all sit around and talk about what would be cool. And then eventually they film something. He wants them not to go by the script. He wants them to improvise, but he deals with actors who refuse to improvise. So you've got actors that are working off a script with other ones that are not. So yeah, Jarmusch's films are a fucking mess, but I think a lot of them are great.
How do you think Coffee and Cigarettes started? He watched Dinner with Andre once and he was like, it'd be cool. And then he started inviting people to talk about it. And he's like, but it'd be cool in 2003. Not going back and sitting at a nice, restaurant and talking.
Mm.
It's cooler if we have cigarettes and we're at a diner and drink coffee or do that. Like, yeah, you know,
Wait, that's
cool.
the whole movie?
Basically.
Oh fuck.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
There's
yet again, like this film, that was a Jarmusch film that everybody who was a fan was like, "Oh wow, this is a no-brainer. This is going to be great. This is just going to be, Jesus, like, Iggy Pop and Tom Waits talking about whatever over this." And then you go see it and you're like, "Oh my God, I'm really fucking bored."
What is this?
This is what happened with this film too. And Mick hit the nail on the head. I mean, when it works with Jarmusch and he collaborates correctly, you do get things like Mystery Train, Night on Earth, Ghost Dog. I don't care what anybody says. Only Lovers Left Alive. But if it gets too big, okay, so example, Focus Films released this film with total control by Jarmusch, except they did not deliver his desired budget. Now this goes to Mick, and I'm going to give this one to Mick too. So what does Jarmusch do? He goes over the budget exactly what he originally asked for.
Damn.
That's a real dickish thing to do. And also, especially from a film company that did everything they possibly could to make this film happen because it was a Jarmusch film. So is he maybe a little irresponsible at times? Yeah, but there are a lot of directors you could say that.
I will give you
Trevor, that Lovers ones, that's the vampire movie, right?
I will always
I seen that. Okay, I did see one of his movies before.
I will always give credit to Ghost Dog.
Mhm.
But even if you think about Ghost Dog, it's just you saying, it'd be cool. Samurais
Yes.
and gangsters in Jersey City, New Jersey. Yes, that's where it takes place. That's where it was filmed. I remember.
Yep.
So when it's just truly like, it's like one movie in this man's career I would go to bat to say like he did good on. That's my level with Jim Jarmusch.
Does the hometown thing help?
No, he ain't from my own.
No, I mean, because you said it was in Jersey City. I'm saying, does that help?
Ghost Dog, it helps Ghost Dog's case.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I meant for that. For you to
that movie, yes. I say watch that movie, yes.
Okay, so this maybe doesn't sound like a great thing to say, but not about what everybody does. But Jarmusch films, because probably the amount of endo on the sets of those films is so amazing. Jarmusch films are like the equivalent of stoner metal that Sleep is. Jim Jarmusch is art house stoner films. I'll be honest.
Until Kevin Smith showed up and promptly said, guess what? I add stories. Maybe not the best of stories. Maybe not I'm not going to go to bat on the best stories ever written or anything. Listen, but if we're taking that route, which I know Jarmusch is much younger. He started early 80s and stuff like that. So like, he started earlier. So he was a veteran by the time he rolled in. But if you really want to take that stoner element to it, that's a good comparison to the two. And I'm going to say this: Jim Jarmusch don't have that type of substance.
Well, so Jarmusch in the days when his prime stuff came out, I mean, not to bring up Von Trier again, but he and Von Trier are very similar in the fact that it was a time in which there was a lot of experimenting with slow cinema on a more commercial level. Slow cinema has existed as long as cinema exists, but he was part of kind of an echelon of art house directors, and that's kind of where he's important. And also, I think he brings a lot of the avant-garde, if anybody's heard his music or anything, to the table. But yeah, I mean, I do love him, but I also am the first person to say I understand why you don't.
Here's what I think happened. I think Quentin Tarantino and David Lynch went back in time, had a baby together. Don't ask me how. And that turned out to be Jim Jarmusch. And unfortunately, he did not hit every branch of the talent tree.
Just a few of them.
But he did get some of their good qualities, like being able to make friends with celebrities who are willing to get into your movies because they think important. You're on a level because you're abstract. You're not abstract. You're hollow, sir. I'm sorry. I'm roasting this man now, and I feel bad.
Why? Don't feel bad.
I mean, like, I don't hate the man.
No,
I am mad at him for this movie. Like I said, in my metaphorical menu type situation, he would be my John Leguizamo. That's how much I hate this movie.
That's fair. That is fair, Mick. That is fair to say.
And it's slowly getting to zero.
This guy.
Yet again, I just have to say, you know, for me, this film does not represent what I think are extraordinarily good qualities about Jarmusch films. And I do have a huge soft side for improvised cinema and things of that nature. But, you know, this is not the way to be introduced to Jim Jarmusch in any way. No.
Yeah, because I was gonna say I do enjoy the improvised, you know, when they improvise too. But as long as it's like everybody's doing it, everybody's a part of it. Like if I'm improvising and Mick's going by the script, I'm like, you're throwing it all off. Like, what the fuck? Or vice versa.
Go to and listen. I have got so much respect for improvisation artists. That's what they are, man. Like everything they can do is brilliant. Like, and there's so many great troops, and I have nothing bad to say about them. The one thing I would say is go get a camera and say, hey guys, I want to act out an 1.5-hour feature of improv. It is not going to happen. You're going to get 5 minutes because you can't sustain a huge story with a lot of people all improv and have it meaningful. It just can't be. It's like the anti Christopher Guest, which I'm not putting as a pillar of the best or anything. I do like Christopher Guest films, and I do think he's a very talented filmmaker, but it is that because that is improv, but it's scripted. It has a form, but it's try whatever you're going to do because he trusts the troupe to do it and bring it to him. That to me is that structure you need when you're filmmaking and you want to add improvisation. You have to have, and that's such a loose structure that he works with. That's why I'm using him. There's such a broad scope to all the improvisation that goes on in those movies. Jarmusch doesn't do that. Jarmusch is just, again, it's almost like what's in the moment, and like that's nice and all, but it's very Andy Warholish, and I'm sorry, Andy Warhol.
That's super in the moment. I mean, it's like the legitimate Andy Warhol stuff is, you know, we're talking like 24-hour freaking movie of one item.
It's just, it's smearing shit on a canvas and calling it art.
Well, okay, so I brought up about how Jarmusch films and, you know, probably why his films have a disjointed quality when you look at a scene as just that. Like this scene exists as itself. There's not a before or an after. You just act the part. It's going to be a problem. Well, actually, where he got the idea of that was from Nicholas Ray. Now, yet again, knowing people at the right time, he was Nicholas Ray's personal assistant for the last 1.5 years of his life. Nicholas Ray had told him that how he made films in his mind was to shoot scenes almost as little movies or vignettes, and then you take those scenes like beads and put them together to the necklace that you want. Now, I don't think that Jarmusch translated that advice the way Ray wanted him to, but that's from Jarmusch, that influenced how he went forward in cinema. That it was one of those, like, wards of my mentor. So,
Well, okay, so let me ask you this. You run into, like, say, Sturdy and James. You guys really probably haven't seen a lot of Jim Jarmusch films.
Mhm.
This might even be your only one.
I think it is for me.
So, Trevor, if you're talking to them and you want to get them into Jim Jarmusch, what is the movie that you would put forth first?
Mystery Train.
Mystery Train. Okay.
Mystery Train.
Would you when would you put Ghost Dog in there?
Before or after? Well, honestly, it would depend on who I was recommending it to. So if it was to prove that he was a extraordinarily competent director that could be entertaining in a weird way, it is Mystery Train. But from anybody who's coming from a viewpoint of contemporary popular cinema, yeah, Ghost Dog would be.
Now, those same people who are contemporary popular cinema, those are the ones I'm really talking about, because that's your main goer, right? Jarmusch is niche, and he's niche.
Yes,
he's that.
Knowingly niche. Yeah.
He's Trevor niche, and I'm not. And I like. We have a lot of same takes, so it's not like that's anything poor or anything like that. But that's super niche to him liking it. Like, I can't even get into it. I'm in a little bit more of a snobbish level, I guess. Yeah, it works. But my problem with it is, like, those pop culture, popcorn goers. If you told them Ghost Dog, would you tell them anything else really to sell them on Jim Jarmusch? Do you really think they're going to fall in love with him after Ghost Dog? And I'm talking about those not cinephiles now.
Not cinephiles.
I
think it would bore most people to death, honestly.
Exactly.
I mean,
it's so niche.
Okay, so this is the wonderful thing about Jarmusch, and also the worst thing about Jarmusch, in my opinion, is when it was released in Variety that Jarmusch was going to be directing Forrest Whitaker as a samurai who communicates by pigeons with the mafia that is his retainer. My God, this sounded like the greatest fucking thing ever. And it's very good. And I do believe it belongs in the Criterion Collection. But to us, it was a bit disappointing. And it's actually one of Jarmusch's films that has grown over time, because it was one of those things like this film. Jim Jarmusch and Bill Murray and Adam Driver and Tom Waits, they're going to make a zombie movie, and Tilda Swinton's going to be in it. And there's just so much excitement about the potentiality of what some of these Jarmusch films can be. It's almost like a build up to it doesn't pay off.
Build up the
disappointment. Is a disappointment. And so there's so much about Ghost Dog that if you watch it multiple times, you just really, really pick up more and more. And that's, I think, for a generalized audience, Forrest Whitaker is so freaking amazing in that film that I think that's enough for people to get through it and enjoy it.
Yeah.
But
I definitely agree with that.
Yeah. I dearly love Jim Jarmusch, and I also know that he's a director that, it would be like, going to a multiplex and, back in like the 60s and saying, hey, I got this Bergman film, but not to compare or contrast, but as far as, fringy, fringe cinema, that's just literally not for everybody. And that's fine.
Like this, like whenever people the seven seal, this seven sign, seven seal. Jesus Christ, mix up the Demi Moore movie. No, but like when people would talk about that in school, like I remember watching it and I was like, wow, I'm really impressed. This is brilliant filmmaking. But when people would talk about it in film school, like it was like, oh yeah, actually I've seen it. I'm like, it's not for everyone.
No,
it's just not, not even in this element. Like it's a niche. It's that fringe. You're right. Like it's, and I do like that fringe. I am I'm avid in the especially in the film festival circuit and things like that, and what's coming out and how that what's happening, and I love those fringe filmmakers. Jarmusch drives me crazy. Because I'm like, and it's just on the day too. David Lynch died. Like it's just like that's the fringe right there. That's brilliant fringe. He's so far on the outside, but like, you know what? I don't want to talk about Jarmusch anymore. It's bullshit. I want to talk about. Can we go around the horn and say our favorite David Lynch movie?
I'm not good with directors. I'll have to look it up.
Look it up what we're talking about.
Yeah, you can Trevor go back and forth.
No, Trevor, you go first because I know you got a lot to say.
I got to think about that.
It's so not fucking Dune. I'll tell you that much.
I remember seeing Dune in theaters, and I really enjoyed it. But that's not my favorite.
Okay, I know who he is. All right.
I did like him as John Ford in Spielberg's movie, The Fabelmans. He did a good job with that one, and I like that it was David Lynch because he loved Ford.
All around greatest film.
I'm not even looking him up, and I want to just like.
I'm gonna say Blue Velvet.
Blue Velvet is a great fucking movie. You have your clips here, by the way.
His most important film,
the Cleveland Show.
He did everything, man. He jumped in. He loved it.
If he was a part of the Cleveland Show, I'm just gonna go with that because the only movie that I know I've seen of his was Eraserhead, and I wasn't a fan of it.
Oh, I love Eraserhead.
I like Eraserhead too. It's so fucking odd, but it's well done.
Yeah, it just wasn't for me. I didn't hate it. It was okay.
No, most of his movies, there's a niche, and I think I always get. The thing about Lynch that I really love is like, he's on that like cusp of having some substance. Is kind of just an idea, but he is so good at making you feel the characters. He's so good at making you feel the atmosphere of where they are. Twin Peaks is so successful because Twin Peaks, the town, is a character in the movie, and you feel like you live there while you're watching it. He did that so well, especially in the Los Angeles, like you were saying, like how he encapsulated that. Mulholland Drive. He did so good in a lot of these movies. Not fucking Dune though. I will never defend that. I might hate that more than Dead Don't Die.
Oh man.
Oh,
guilty pleasure.
Now, did they make that? I think there's in Texas.
Well,
I think it's Texas. Has a restaurant, Twin Peaks. Is that from they made it because of the movie? The restaurant name?
Well, it takes place in like Washington State or something.
Yeah. Well,
I will say, it might have been that because there was a diner in that, and they might have like tried to make it seem like that. I would say, in my opinion, David Lynch's best movie is The Elephant Man.
Oh, it's an excellent film.
I seen that.
Lost Highway might be my favorite though. It's so weird and it's so odd, and there's no substance to it, but it's very interesting how it kind of turns out. And again, it's another one that like kind of like, you feel the atmosphere of what he's shooting, Anyway, I don't know why I went so far on that. I miss him already.
Hey, that's fair. That's fair. I'm over here.
What was his last movie?
Directors.
What was the last?
Directors mean more to me than celebrities do.
Oh,
like when I hear like, I'm not saying like, it's not sad when you see actors that give special performances in your life. Go, but like when I hear a director goes, it kind of hurts my heart, or I hear cinematographers and other filmmakers who I know did like, oh my god, it kicks your ass a little bit, because that's what I like. I love that. I love that world of filmmaking. You know,
Yeah.
Something that needs to be brought up about something else. You mentioned Twin Peaks. This is very important. That, you know, Lynch's ability to bring the abstract, the slightly surreal to the general public, but also bring a show that would go on to be one of the most influential shows in contemporary streaming and non-network television, setting amazing precedents for storytelling in television. So, you know, yes, David Lynch is fringe, but not as fringe as people think. He's had his hands in a lot of interesting things.
Yeah, in fact, it was his idea for, because he was originally gonna in talks to direct Return of the Jedi, and George Lucas's ego, after Irvin Kershner did a better job with Empire Strikes Back, and then he got him blacklisted. So, but he kind of kicked Lynch out, but it was Lynch's idea for the battles to all be in one shot, which is you have the lightsaber battle on the Death Star, out the window you see the behind them you see the space starship battles, and then behind that you see Endor. So you're getting all the wars in one, and he wanted to show that element that the war is bigger than each of these stories, and like that was very much Lynch's idea, and he did Dune as a spite. He was like, fine, whatever, I'll do Dune.
Well, he did Dune because if he did Dune, Blue Velvet happened.
Yeah, I mean, he was getting his way. He was smart.
Yeah.
He was definitely a smart producer.
He was working with De Laurentiis, and De Laurentiis was a person of his word. So, you know, he knew if he did it for Dino would deliver.
Yeah. Then you ain't wrong.
I don't think I've never seen Dune.
You should watch it.
The original.
You should watch it, because I mean,
That shit crazy.
it's Sting's abs alone.
Yeah, that's why
His little metal bikini bottoms.
The set design
I do have
is
some
truly
shirts to
amazing.
wash.
And the creature design, but it's so weird and so outside of Herbert's world.
Isn't it the anus worm?
The anus worm.
The butthole worm?
Oh, the time wielders, the Bene Generates that kind of look like really saggy genitalia.
Like I told everybody, like, cause read the book, watch the new movies for sure. If you want to watch the old one, go for it. I used to tell people, like, when I was younger, oh yeah, you want to watch that? Watch Tremors instead. You'll have way more fun. It's a much shorter story.
You know what? Got me. I'll do it. Tremors. Tremors it is.
It was a
Tremors got ridiculous. They mutated. Every movie is like something new, a new ability. End up flying at one point.
Blue Velvet.
Blue Velvet, it's just beautiful.
Yeah, just watch that. It's so fucking brilliant.
That name sounds so familiar.
You're thinking of Blue Sunshine. You're thinking of Blue Sunshine.
If you do like a
okay.
romance horror,
I like that shit.
If you do like a romance horror wheel or whatever, you should definitely add Blue Velvet on there.
I don't know about a romance.
Yeah, not the zombie movie where these teenagers tie her up and keep raping the zombie.
Hey,
you don't want that.
What movie is that?
You never seen it?
What?
These kids, so there's like a zombie, but there's no other zombies around. I don't know. This is what I remember from it. It's a group of teenagers, and they find this zombie girl, actual zombie. They tie her up in like this cave or something near water or something, and they have sex with her every damn day until it gets freed and bites them. And
what movie is
yeah, it was a weird ass. I seen that shit when I was a teenager. I forgot. I'll look it up.
You got to give us a name.
I'm going.
I just the Google of that.
and I'm here. I missed the whole party. I'm
zombie
like,
gets raped by teenagers.
I'm like that's not Blue Sunshine that I remember.
It's called Dead Girl.
Oh,
it's called Dead Girl.
Okay, yeah, I'm familiar with that film.
It stars Shiloh Fernandez and Noah Segan as teenage boy who discovered a naked female zombie portrayed by Jenny Spain.
Oh,
And they tie her up and they take turns, rape her. I'm talking about no condoms or anything.
Jesus Christ.
They're raw dogging a dead body. The
Raw
zombie.
dog and a dead body.
Can I get off?
Wow.
Before we start talking about German necromantic cinema.
So, hang on,
you know, another fringe director.
I talked about this movie way longer than I want to.
Yeah, we're not talking about that movie anymore. We're talking
Yeah,
about
no,
I'm
Chad.
not.
The real movie.
Necrophilia.
Because right after James finished, your thing was, "Can I get off now?" Like after he talked about.
God.
Until rigor mortis says so.
Oh my God.
I want to go watch Matlock.
Yeah.
Yeah, rigor mortis kicks in. She's really tough.
And then you have Visitor Q by
God.
by Tedeschi.
Talking about David Lynch.
I think we're gonna have to discuss Dead Girl on Sterno Vision one of these.
I have to go to bed.
I'm gonna need you there, dude.
You should.
Or Visitor Q.
You gotta watch it.
You have to be there.
I have no interest in it. That's Two Girls, One Cup for me. I'm never gonna watch it. I have no interest. I'm good. I don't need to see that. I don't need to know the message that they're trying to. I'll watch a Jim Jarmusch movie before I watch that. Just based off of your description, James. Just yours alone. It may not even be that. It may not even be that movie. It could be a nice love story like Warm Bodies or something. Well, no, that movie sucked. But you know, you got what I'm saying.
Either.
But I'm not watching it because of your description.
Just the way you described it.
Because there's actually a scene that answers the question if something like rigor mortis kind of happens there.
I need to go watch
Tedeschi Miike, so
I need to go watch a Taylor Sheridan show right now. That's how down a drain you just brought things.
Listen, you know what you're getting yourself into when you come on Horror There's 30.
I need to go put on my cowboy hat and watch Landman or some shit.
Oh my goodness, that was so fucking funny. Oh, geez.
All right, remember everybody, February 1st, the Scene Snobs, Casters for a Cause.
Yes.
We'll pick out a charity tomorrow. We'll get it up so that way I can get it live. You know, we're going to try and reach our goal. If you guys help out, every little bit helps, and it's going to go towards a great cause. All of it, you know, whatever GoFundMe sends over.
You're going to see a lot of shows.
and it's going to be fun, funny, entertaining. Like we're starting from 3 and we're ending at 3 p.m. to 1 a.m. Startle Vision's going to be on there. Popcorn and Pints. Scene Snobs kicking it off. Stories from a Bar is actually going to be on there.
3 Geeks going to be on there?
3 Geeks.
Is 3 Geeks?
3 Geeks going to be on there.
Troy Hill Talk is going to be on there.
That's nice.
It's going to be a bunch of us having a great freaking time. And you know,
I kind of have a loose schedule of everything. Yeah, so we're gonna have some pretty heavy hitters.
Because I'll check that date because I'd like to, be involved as much as I can.
Yeah, February 1st. We'd love to have you, man. We have some time too. Like we have, if you want to take some slots, we have 2 half-hour slots left. If you want to.
Oh, cool.
Have somebody on talk a certain subject or something. That helps. Those little things help fill the void because, I think Sturdy's joining me for this one, but like Casey and I used to do it like where all day we're hosting in between in and out, and it's like it's nice when you get that break. People
go to the bathroom.
It is.
The first few, everybody was like, no, Mick, stay for this one. I'm like, I'm so tired.
With both of us doing it though, I'll stay for some if necessary, or stay a little bit longer if you got to dip, and vice versa. But there's gonna be something like, listen, man, we were here all day. You guys run this. We'll be back. You can hear the house.
Oh, you get to that point, dude. You get to. I remember one time we were sitting there talking. And they were like, "Hey, stay on the show," and Casey's like, "Nope, want a cigarette?" And he just. And I don't blame him. I was like, "Yeah, guys, we gotta jump off. You guys have a good show."
Yeah. But it's seriously, it's for a great cause. It's gonna be a great time with some great people, having some laughs and all this other great stuff, and hopefully we can raise a good amount of money to help some people that really, really can use the help right now, because that's what it's all about.
So, did you put a goal for the money amount, or is it just going to be open?
Well, no, There's always a goal we try to get to. I think the last one we did, but the last one we did was a what do you call it? A script read. So it's only like a couple of hours live or something. Yeah. And so I think that was like 300 was our goal. I might go for 6 this time around, just kind of see how it goes. And it was a lot easier back in the day. I mean, all together with everything we've raised so far and Casters for a Cause across the board, $7,062.
Wow.
All went to various causes and such, help in different times. this same way, like whatever you donate, GoFundMe sends directly to the charity. I like it that way because I don't have to touch anything. You know what I mean?
That's the easiest way to do it. That's the easiest and smartest way to do it.
Send it right forward to them. So like I want to pick out a charity that's really going to help out in Los Angeles. We tend to try to either help out kids centric charities or animal centric charities. So I think, but I am a former firefighter, so I might try and help out the firefighters as well if we can. So I'll look at everything tomorrow starting at 9/11. We'll get that one.
Mick is a man of many jobs.
I do love doing Casters for a Cause. I do love doing
too.
Charity events. Like those are, I'm happy. It's been a couple of years. It's been a wild ride. So I'm excited. And when everybody gets into it, it's a lot of fun. It becomes like a big party.
It really is it really is a good time. It's an awesome time. We always have fun. We always have laughs. And I don't know how many I've been a part of, but since we met and clicked, I've been a part of like every single one since. And it's just, and you know what's funny too is I was hoping we were gonna do a marathon again soon. Because don't get me wrong, the script reads are fun, but I'm like, the marathon there's just something about it that brings about this. As long as they go, because some of the marathons, I was like, yeah, I'll hop on the show with you guys. I'll stay on the show with you guys. And you get like this weird energy, except for when you're not up. Like if you're going for a couple hours, and you get like that part where like, oh, I'm not on for a couple shows. I'm like, damn, I could take a nap right now. I feel like, damn, I could take a nap right now.
Yeah, the first one we ever did was like 16 or 17 hours. And that's when we had the Scene Snobs network, and we had like 30 shows, and like everybody would just kind of joined in, and it was wild. It went on for a while. It was, and it was, we started at like noon, and we went to like we just kept going. We just kept having fun and just kept rolling with it, and it becomes like a really fun event. Trevor, we definitely want you there.
Oh, I'd love to be involved.
So for sure, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. Like but yeah, I am excited to do another marathon, and if this does well, I would be open to kind of becoming more frequent with it and such. So
oh yeah,
it's just a lot to put together.
I can't wait for it though. Like I can't wait for it. And again, we hope all of you are there, and tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend, because honestly, it's all about helping the people. That's the main thing. That's the main goal. That's the main cause. But we're all going to get on out of here. Check our links. They're right in the description. The Scene Snobs, Ambassador Media, Horror Research 30, the Z Network, which you can catch Popcorn and Pints, Store Some Bar, and all the other ones. Bunch of stuff. Make sure you guys go check out the Video Store Clerks over there, too, because they show us a lot of love. Big shout out to Chad. And just go check that out. And James and his zombie porn fetish. We're going to roll out on that one, though. I'll see you in your nightmares.
It's a real movie, fucker.
Listen, I'm not saying it's not. I'm just saying it's your fetish, and Mick wants to get off, so we're going to let Mick get off.
My fetish. I came across, I think it was on IFC. I came across it when I was a teenager.
And you probably jacked off to it, too. But we're going to get